Hello and welcome. You are watching World Business Report here on News 9 Live. I am Krishna Kumar. We begin with Microsoft. Microsoft-owned software platform GitHub has now over 13 million Indian developers using the platform, and that number is expected to overtake that of the US and become the largest developer community on GitHub by the year 2027. This was revealed during Microsoft's Microsoft Build event in Bengaluru, where CEO Satya Nadella lauded India's developer talent, particularly in generative AI projects, as he highlighted GitHub's pivotal role. Nadella's visit to Mumbai on the 7th of February further emphasized the theme of artificial intelligence and its associated opportunities. GitHub is an open source software coding platform that facilitates code storage, collaboration, and tracking, empowering developers across the world. Satya Nadella expressed his enthusiasm for the integration of Indian languages into GitHub's Copilot feature, showcasing the platform's commitment to inclusivity and innovation. Away from Microsoft to Pakistan, where after a national election on Thursday, Pakistan experienced notable delays in the counting of the votes polled in the election, prompting the country's election commission to issue a late-night warning to polling officers, urging them to promptly release the election results, even 10 hours after the polls had closed. Pakistan's political landscape is predominantly shaped by three major parties: the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz or PMLN, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf or PTI, that is Imran Khan's party, and Pakistan People's Party or PPP. Initially, former Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, representing the PMLN party, led by his brother Nawaz Sharif, secured victory in the NA 123 seat from Lahore as of 9 a.m. Now, the PPP, led by Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, managed to win only 3 seats as of 9 a.m., trailing behind both PMLN as well as the PTI. Away from Pakistan to Wall Street, where the S&P 500 touched unprecedented heights, extending its record-winning streak amidst a surge in chip stocks. Investors witnessed history as the index soared to new heights and buoyed by the impressive performance of semiconductor companies. Chip stocks in particular experiencing a notable surge as demand for semiconductor products remained strong across sectors, contributing to Wall Street's ascent. Take a look at this detailed report.
The benchmark S&P 500 index crossed the 5,000 mark for the first time on Thursday as investors reacted to earnings reports. By the close, though, the S&P 500 finished up only fractionally, settling just below the 5,000-point milestone. The Dow added 0.1%, and the Nasdaq gained 0.25%. Shares of chip designer ARM Holdings ended up nearly 50% after it forecast strong demand for designs related to artificial intelligence features. That helped lift other chipmaker stocks, including Taiwan Semiconductor and Broadcom. Market Vectors Index's head of product management and marketing, Joy Yang, said the technology sector continues to lead the market higher.
So we've seen some really strong earnings report come out, and that's broadly led by tech stocks, but we've also seen it in companies like Disney, Uber that were up yesterday. But yesterday we saw ARM report earnings up 50% over the day. So, it's still very much an AI story.
More than half of the S&P 500 companies have reported quarterly earnings, with 80% of them surpassing expectations, compared with a long-term average of 67%, according to LSEG data. Other stock movers included Hershey, which gained 4% after announcing a cost-cutting plan despite giving a weak 2024 outlook. And shares of Ralph Lauren jumped 17% following a third-quarter revenue beat.
Away from that, against the backdrop of a crisis in the Red Sea, Maersk, a global leader in container shipping, has issued a stark warning as far as its own profits are concerned. The maritime giant has signaled trouble ahead as it navigates through literally turbulent waters with geopolitical tensions posing significant challenges to its operations and its bottom line. More in this report.
Maersk shares fell sharply on Thursday. The Danish shipping giant stock was down 13% in early trades after a new update spooked investors. Maersk said Red Sea trade disruptions would not be a major boost for the company, even though the crisis has driven a surge in the prices to ship freight. It also said an oversupply of vessels would hit its earnings this year. The negative mood contrasted with recent optimism about the sector among investors. Shipping companies have been some of the best performing stocks in Europe so far this year. Firms have rerouted vessels following attacks on shipping by Houthi militants along the major Red Sea trading route, driving the gains in freight rates. Maersk has diverted some vessels on a longer route around Africa, but it expects underlying earnings of between $1 billion and $6 billion this year, well below the near $10 billion it scored last year. Maersk further said it expected significant oversupply challenges in seagoing container shipping to emerge fully this year. The warning led the company to suspend its share buyback program. Maersk said it would review the decision once market conditions in ocean container shipping had settled.
From container shipping giant to consumer goods giant, Unilever, which has taken a strategic approach to address internal challenges by launching a buyback program, while its CEO has demanded sweeping improvements across the company. Take a look at this.
Unilever launched a $1.6 billion share buyback on Thursday. The British firm made the announcement as volumes rose for the first time in 10 quarters. Investors liked what they heard and shares rose as much as 4%. But the group's CEO said its performance still needed to improve. Heinz Schumacher further said Unilever's competitiveness remains disappointing. He added the firm is moving with speed to transform into a consistently higher performing business. The maker of Dove soap and Hellmann's condiments said its full-year underlying operating profit rose 2.6% to $10.65 billion, but that missed analyst expectations. The consumer goods industry has struggled to protect margins as everything has become more costly due to the global health crisis. Russia's invasion of Ukraine also sent energy costs to record highs. Some companies have started to ease price hikes in step with slowing inflation. Unilever said it expects modest improvement in underlying operating margin for the full year. The company also reported a roughly 5% rise in fourth quarter underlying sales, which matched analyst forecasts.
Keeping it with consumer goods, Hershey, a renowned name in the confectionery industry known for its chocolate sauce the most, is now facing turbulent times as it has announced job cuts and, along with announcing those job cuts, has also issued a profit warning. This Reuters report tells you all about it.
Shares of Hershey jumped as much as nearly 8% Thursday morning after the confectionery giant announced a new 2-year restructuring program that it said would generate about $300 million in pre-tax savings. The stock initially fell in the pre-market after the candy maker forecast sales and profit for this year that was below Wall Street expectations. But shares reversed course after the market opened as Hershey outlined the restructuring plan, which it said will impact less than 5% of the company's workforce. Hershey said sales in the fourth quarter of 2023 missed estimates as inflation-weary consumers cut back spending on the company's expensive chocolates and candies. Cadbury chocolate maker Mondelez International also posted a drop in volumes for the fourth quarter as price hikes deterred customers from spending on its products. One analyst told Reuters consumers are spending less during non-seasonal periods. Hershey CEO Michelle Buck said the company expects higher cocoa prices to limit its earnings growth in 2024.
Well, away from Hershey's to SoftBank, a prominent player in the technology and investment sector, which is celebrating a significant milestone as it has recorded its first profit in 5 quarters. That's right, the Japanese investment giant has said that the net profit of the company has hit $6.6 billion over the latest quarter, signaling a turnaround after all the mistakes that were come about, starting with the failure of WeWork. More details in this report.
SoftBank has snapped its losing streak. The Japanese investment giant said Thursday that net profit hit $6.6 billion over the latest quarter. This time a year ago, it posted a loss of not much less. The numbers ended a run of 4 straight losing quarters. It's been a tough few years for SoftBank. Many of its investments in tech startups fell in value as interest rates rose. That forced it to slash its buying and sell off assets. The setbacks tarnished the reputation of boss Masayoshi Son. He made his name with big calls, including taking an early stake in Chinese e-commerce titan Alibaba. Almost all of that holding had to be offloaded as SoftBank finances turned sour. Some other later investments also went very wrong. SoftBank poured money into office sharing firm WeWork, only to see it rack up losses and eventually file for bankruptcy. Analysts say Son's firm now takes a more cautious and disciplined approach to selecting investments. Among its crown jewels is a controlling stake in UK chip designer ARM, which has surged in value by 40% over recent months.
Shifting focus away from SoftBank to Nissan, the leading car manufacturer, which is now also experiencing a rise in profits, albeit falling short of market forecasts. Nissan's profit acceleration has signaled resilience amidst adversity. It also highlights the need for continued adaptation and strategic foresight to thrive in a rapidly changing market landscape. All details in this report.
Nissan's profit accelerated in the latest quarter, but not as quickly as analysts expected. The Japanese automaker said Thursday operating profit was up 6.4% in the December period. It totaled almost $952 million, but that was well below analyst forecasts of more than $1 billion. The auto giant kept this year's forecast for operating profit at around $4.2 billion. It believes a money-making product mix will help offset a lower full-year vehicle sales projection. Nissan revised down its retail sales outlook for the current financial year to 3.55 million vehicles. It had previously expected 3.7 million. Nissan said the lower sales numbers reflect growing competition and logistics issues around the company's key markets. Its global sales grew 4.6% to some 3.3 million vehicles last year. A stronger performance in North America and Europe offset falling demand for its cars in the world's top auto market, China. Sales there fell 16% last year to fewer than 800,000 vehicles.
China's e-commerce giant Alibaba Group Holdings reported third quarter revenues that have fallen short of analysts' expectations. The company cited challenges stemming from a sluggish retail market in China and a slow economic recovery in the world's second largest economy. Take a look at this.
Alibaba failed to meet analyst expectations for third quarter revenue. The Chinese e-commerce giant was hurt by softness in the retail market and China's weak economic recovery. On Wednesday, the company reported revenue of nearly $36.7 billion for the 3 months ended December 31st, slightly below analyst predictions. Alibaba is under pressure from slow growth in China's online shopping market following the end of health crisis restrictions. Consumers in the world's second largest economy have cut costs in response to the slow recovery. That's helped more low-cost domestic players like PDD Holdings, which own Pinduoduo. It has also led Alibaba to focus more on discounting and lower priced goods. However, Alibaba did announce an increase of $25 billion to its share repurchase program through the end of March 2027. Last year, Alibaba announced the split of its business into 6 units. Group CEO Eddie Wu will help oversee the move. Wu took over the role in September. He's told staff the company's strategic focus would be user-first and AI-driven as it fights slower earnings growth.
Now, silver has emerged as the new gold in Egypt, which is currently reshaping Egypt's economic landscape. Now, this transformation reflects changing consumer preferences and market dynamics, with silver gaining prominence among Egyptians as a valuable asset as well as an important investment opportunity. Take a look at this detailed report.
Silver has become the new gold in Egypt, and it's a sign of the country's economic crisis. Traditionally, Egyptian women receive gold jewelry for their engagement, but with surging prices and a weakening currency, many are receiving silver instead. This shop owner says people have also opted for silver as gifts for newborns too, another tradition where gold was once the norm. In January, the price for a gram of 21-karat gold rose more than 120%, to the equivalent of about $126. At his family's shop, Rami Zarin says his family has traditionally relied on silver because they believe it's more stable. He can't afford gold anyway. Those who can have turned to foreign currency or property. But that's out of reach for most Egyptians. Roughly 60% of the country's population of 105 million is estimated to be below or close to the poverty line. Inflation is spiking above 30%. The currency has weakened 50% against the dollar, with more devaluation to come.
Shifting focus away from Egypt to Europe, where across Spain, farmers have united in protest against European Union policies, highlighting their own grievances and demanding reforms. The protest in Spain underscores the challenges faced by farmers across Europe, including issues related to subsidies, trade agreements, and environmental regulations imposed by the European Union. Take a look at this special report.
We are tired of working and getting underpaid. We are fed up that they won't let us do what we want to in the field. They force us to plant what they want us to plant. They force us to use the herbicide that they want. And apart from that, we are being underpaid.
Keeping it with Spain, in the vibrant streets of the city of Barcelona, art has become a powerful medium for advocating peace on the Gaza Strip, transcending borders and cultures. Through thought-provoking murals and installations, local artists in Barcelona have conveyed messages of solidarity and hope, urging for an end to the violence and conflict.
They are children, I think, right? And they are looking at art with hand to hand, all the people. And they show like we can live in peace.
I mean, the red is also, the first thing you think of is blood for me. So it's ironic and kind of, it's ironic that you use red to paint the heart in a way.
Now, with The legendary wrestling prowess of Efron and White takes center stage in The Iron Claw. It's a gripping tale that chronicles the extraordinary journey of these famed brothers. Take a look.
Las Vegas has been amazing for me. Having 100 sold out shows at a residency, and to have the next one be the crescendo, which is the Super Bowl with Apple, has really, really, really given my time here in Las Vegas an incredible button at the end. Each and every person that had anything to do with the music, the creativity, everybody is a part of this celebratory moment. I thought about a few moments that were special in dance. I thought about some things that I had created here in Las Vegas, i.e. skating, and doing things that I had not, done on stage up until this point, to be able to share that with the world. You know those kids who like take a mic in hand and they're singing and they're like believing in themselves, or they look in the mirror and they're singing to an audience that's not there. I'm that kid at 9 years old that had this dream that this moment and many of the moments that I've had in my career would come true.
With the much anticipated 2024 Super Bowl inching closer, football enthusiasts are gearing up for a spectacle, not only on the field but also during the commercial breaks, as the Super Bowl ads are immensely popular in the United States of America. Recognizing the unparalleled platform the Super Bowl provides, brands in the US are strategically preparing to make a lasting impression with their commercials, aiming to captivate audiences and secure a significant presence in the collective consciousness of viewers across the US. Take a look at this.
So if you can't make 7 million, pay for it back, because I think it's actually quite a good investment.
Twist on it? Yeah. Cream on the right, we'll let him in.
Do I get a cut?
I think $7 million is actually quite good value for money, and everyone thinks I'm completely insane when I say that. But what other event in the world have you got where everybody is watching the same thing at the same time and everyone's talking about the adverts? And actually it's an opportunity for everybody to experience the same thing, because at the moment advertising is often on our feeds, everyone gets a different advert, it's all very personalised. But this is where we experience advertising together as a nation. And I think there's no better stage to put your brand on than the Super Bowl.
I remember that.
Well, you know what they say, in order to remember something.
Remember when you used to be a pepper lady?
Wasn't it the Cinnamon Sisters?
Basil babes?
Paprika Girls?
No, that's absurd.
Who would watch that? All right, let me twist on it. Hope you can keep up.
Need home internet from T-Mobile to fulfill my life.
Every celebrity wants to be in a Super Bowl ad, and it's almost a competition to see who's got the best celebrity. But the thing with celebrities is, when we look at the ads with celebrities in versus those that haven't got celebrity in, the scores are actually the same. That having a celebrity itself doesn't make you a better advertiser. The key thing is what you do with a celebrity, and the key thing is to use a celebrity in the thing they're famous for. So this is what Michelob Ultra have got right. They've used Lionel Messi to play football on the beach, so he's showing off the thing that he's good at. And this is the lesson for advertisers. It's not enough just to put a celebrity in your ad. You have to use them well to tell your story. So we'll be looking for Sunday to see who's using the celebrities right and who's using celebrities wrong.
And that's all we have time for in this edition of World Business Report. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.